gosh, this is just such an appointment style event that I look forward to every single Thursday. I know many of you do as well. My name's Jenny Anchondo, and I am here really just as the facilitator and host of this event so that we can learn the most from our guest. And I'm incredibly excited about our guest today. The topic is build and organize your business before you launch. So we're talking about sort of that lead up period. Of course, this will still be incredibly valuable to people who already have their businesses started or maybe even haven't gotten into the planning phase. So we're really going to hit a lot of different topics. So let me tell you about our guest, and then I will also remind you that as questions come up, big or small, you can post them in the chat, and then at the end, after she speaks, we will all be able to ask those questions and then get the answers as a group. It is very likely if you have the question, somebody else does as well. So don't be shy about asking that question. So Marie Dominguez is originally from El Paso. She is such a powerhouse. She has 4 children and 11 grandchildren and is still making time to be here with us today. Her education story is quite vast. She completed her education in El Paso, then continued on with professional courses at UT Arlington. In North Texas, she attended El Paso Community College and then also did some certificate programs in the arenas of civil courts and litigation. And what she's doing today, what she calls her retirement business, her retirement career, she is a certified wedding and event planner. So we're talking about the business aspect of this, but this is really a business that we have not highlighted before or discussed before, and I'm incredibly honored to bring in Marie Dominguez.
Thank you to Seth and everybody that is on board and eager to learn what we're bringing this beautiful day. I mean, it's cold over here in North Texas, but I'm pretty sure we all have different weathers. So thank you very much. I'm super excited to be here. So we're going to start with starting a business today. And you know what? Right now is the time, if anything, I want to remind everybody, don't be afraid of anything. You know, this COVID had to give us the opportunity to launch, to think, to reinvent ourselves, and to learn, you know, how we can survive and still invest in a business and try to make the best out of it. A lot of people decide nowadays, you know, to stop working their 9-to-5 jobs and are ready to take that plunge. And there's a lot of things, a lot of factors we need to take into consideration before we start getting into a business. And starting a business may be intimidating, okay? But if you have uh, the ideas cannot stay in your head, okay? I'm trying to move this a little bit over here so we can, there we go. Okay, at a point, you just need to take the plunge. The time is now. Your ideas have no value if they stay in your head. You could impact society, improve lives, offer a solution to a problem, inspire others. However, if you never dare act on your ideas and turn them into accountable goals and plans, then you may always wonder what you could have done. No se queden con las ganas. If you're ready to quit taking and begin doing, then you know what? Don't be afraid, Jenny, and don't be embarrassed. This is a learning process that we all are learning to reinvent. And, you know, don't be afraid of taking challenges, of learning new things. You're never too old to learn. There's no such thing as age. Good ideas are from here. You know, we got to put them into action. And it's going to take us all our passion that we have to get our ideas going. So if you decided to take the plunge, hey, welcome to the 30.2 million other small businesses. And congratulations, just taking the first initial steps to start your own business deserves kudos. It's not easy to take the plunge. Your future business is about to join an elite club in this country. So welcome. However, before you begin the entrepreneur or small business owner, there are many things you need to consider on a personal matter. Okay, remember, it's good to get the information. We want you to succeed when you're ready to start that business. The idea is to stay in business and become that Fortune 500 company that we currently have right now. And what do we do first? You evaluate yourself. One of the major things to consider is a self-evaluation of your skills, your passion, and your expertise. Understanding each of these things is essential to creating a business that you find fulfilling and that you have a fighting chance of being successful. And my advice has always been you have to love what you do to produce. There is no other ingredient. Love what you do, have a passion for it to succeed. Stay focused, be realistic, be realistic, and always interview yourself and ask yourself. I love to look at myself in the mirror and ask myself questions and practice before, like right now that we're doing this, how I'm going to look, what I'm going to say. So interview yourself. Ask, because that's what other people are going to be asking you. What are you good at? What do you like to do for fun? What brings you joy? What do you dislike doing? These things are important. They're essential. What are your strengths? And what are you an expert in? What are you more knowledgeable than your peers? And what job would you do even if you were not getting paid for it? We go again to loving what you do to produce. Evaluate yourself. This is super important. Get to know. You have to know you, believe in you, and trust you so you can accomplish your future goals. Money, understanding our financials. Okay. Unfortunately, businesses take money to start and keep running. So, in order to start and run a business, you need to have an understanding of your financials. Super important. Ask yourself the following question. Test yourself. Ask yourself this. Do you currently have enough money to start a business? With the money you currently have, how long will you be able to keep those lights on? Will you need to take out a loan to start a business? Should you consider crowdfunding or an angel investor? And what type of lifestyle do you want to achieve? Listen, this is very important. There's groups out there that believe in entrepreneurs, but you have to learn and ask yourself these questions. We got to stay realistic. We got to do our business plan. We got to know exactly where we stand before we stand, before we start, because this is money that we're planting and we want it to grow. It's like a seed we're planting. So we want to make sure that, that money grows and that we know exactly where we want to go. Understand your financials, meet with your banker, do a market study, finding your niche, that this is super important. I know, and I always tell my people this in my classes, it's believe in yourself. You can have 10 Marys in the same block, but there's one Mary Dominguez that has something that those other 9 Marys don't have. We're all women. We're all named Mary Dominguez, but there's one thing that I have to find that niche that is going to outstand me from the rest of my peers. And when you're ready to find out, get back into the professionals and ask. Everybody has a mind of their own. Don't be afraid to ask. There is no dumb or stupid question. Ask. Don't be embarrassed. People are kind. People want you to succeed. Whatever you want to learn from a professional, from certain area you want to get into, ask them. How has it been for you? How did you start? What have been your positives, your negatives? How did you get this far? It's okay. It's okay to ask, and we need to learn from the best. Always learn who your competition is. Don't be afraid of that word. I love that word. I love it. I don't see anybody as competition. I see them as future partners, future mentors, and future colleagues. Competition is good, and we should always do it with ethics and in camaraderie. Where is your niche in the industry? find your niche. There's a lot of websites, there's centers that I'm going to mention at the end of the presentation where you can look for these studies so we can help you ask, find the questions to your answers. What is the size of your market? This is very important when you're going to start understanding your market and identifying the market you want to sell your product or service to is part of your success, essential for you to understand. So you want to start a business. Yes, you have to know what type of business you want to establish, what kind of identity you want to form, whether it's a DBA, a LLC, a S Corp, a C Corp, a nonprofit. It is entirely up to you, but you have to decide what type of identity is right for your business and your business goals. Forming will impact your ability and taxation as a business owner. The business name availability, the business tax information and registration, the business licensing and permits. Those are basic things. The one thing that we do have here in Texas, I hope that we're here, everybody's listening here in Texas, is a great page that we go and they will guide us step by step how to do business here in the state of Texas. How to fund your business. Money is fantastic when you have it, and not so fantastic when you don't have it, right? And we've all been there. Today we have, tomorrow we don't, and then later on there's going to be days that your profits are going to be up here. There's going to be days that they're going to be in the middle. But you know what? Business is like a bucket of water. You keep on pouring that liquid in there and make sure that that bucket doesn't have a hole in the bottom. You have to learn and understand how to manage your money so you can succeed. Money is when it's starting a business, you're going to need money. Some businesses will need more than others, depending on their type of business or product. You can get some money from your business through bootstrapping your small business. That means using your savings and start it from the ground up. Ask your family and friends for personal loans. My favorite is grants. There's money out there for entrepreneurs. There's money out there for small businesses. There's money out there who have a vision to start a business, and their vision is not up here. It's already in paper. Please research and believe me when I say there are grants out there that have money. I'm not going to mention any names. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but oh my goodness, there's money out there for you. So please research, type in there, free grants for small businesses, free grants for entrepreneurs. There's money there for you. Also, we all know about the SBA small business loans, which is super important. The business line credits is also a great source for you to start and for you to have as a backup if you don't want to start by asking, for a big amount of money, or if your credit is not as strong, to obtain the loan that you're asking for. One of my favorites, they're all favorites, but this is super important. Location, location, location. We say this all the time. We might have a wonderful, fantastic idea. But let me tell you, if we don't find the perfect place, that is not going to work. And we want you to succeed. Our goal is to, once you start that business, once you get that vision from your head on paper and your funding, that you can get more. Location is super important. Picking your business location, keep in mind that with evolving technology and the e-commerce boom, location doesn't necessarily mean your business is housed in a physical space. Oh my goodness, this COVID thing really put us dinosaurs, our mind to work here and restart. And what are we going to do? And how are we going to keep going? You're going to grow. Believe me. It can also mean that how the business lives online. depending on what type of small business you're running and what ultimately makes sense. The needs will be different. Do you need a physical storefront to sell your goods and services? Do you need an office? Can your business lead online? Those are essential questions you need to answer. Uh, Also, we know we live in a world where technology dominates. For us that are all here, but we feel like youngsters. You know what? I love this learning because these new millenniums and these new business startups are teaching us what they're learning with these new classes and this online that is going. And most of us can really work remotely instead of sticking to one stop. Begin or starting your business while traveling the world can be exciting. So location is crucial for your business success. Do your research. Don't fall in love with the first spot that you find. Find if your mission, your business that you're starting, do you really need to spend that money? That's $10,000, $12,000 a month, or can you run it from home? Is it a service that you can do from your home office and meet at another location when you're going to close with your customer? So, be realistic. We go back to what we said in the past. Be realistic at all times. We have big dreams, but our big dreams, we have to keep our feet in the ground and be realistic because we want to succeed. And that's what we want when we start. Building a brand for your business. By now, you probably have many aspects out of the way. Your business identity type, your business name, the filing requirements, your financials, your locations, which means you need to start planning to build a robust brand. I always think Coca-Cola and Pepsi, sweet names, but oh my God, you think Coca-Cola, red and white. Pepsi Cola, red, white, and blue. Mountain Dew, green and white. Válgame Dios, so we need to make it short and sweet, you know. But brand is what the people are going to remember. That little star, Seth, we see those big blue letters. We know that's Seth. That, little, to me, it's like a little popsicle. And I'm a candy eater. So yo digo, hey, when I see that emblem, Seth, I know it's Seth automatically. So brand is super important. Why people are going to remember you. So creating brand assets for your small business should be enjoyable. Make it fun. Talk to, like I said, talk to professionals, to your family, get to know you. What would you, because your business is part of you, is what you like, what your idea that you're going to plant and you're going to make grow. Uh, and this is where you get to pick out the fun stuff, including your logo, imaginary business cards, stationery, signage, and more. And you know what? We can save with stationery because with all this new technology, guess what? Everything's online. So we're saving a lot of money in this printing stuff. This technology, in this new, always on any uh, platforms that you will face, look for the positive. Look how to turn the challenges into positive. Nothing is impossible. Make it work. Any challenges thrown at you, you get them and you turn them into positive because there's always solutions for everything. Remember that your brand has to be your small business, your mission, how it's defined. That's what your logo, that's when you come with your family, your friends, other business people, because what you think, what you want to sell, that's how you think, how you're going to identify your logo. Then you create it. And once you create your logo, you start building your website. And there's no need to pay thousands of dollars on a website. Do your research. There's the SBDC, the SBA, they have trainings, the community college. I'm a student from a community college. So, I cheer for our community colleges because they have so much to offer and so much for our entrepreneurs to learn. Measuring your small business success. Measuring the success of your small business can be done by implementing accounting software. Once you implement the system or hire a CPA, then you need to gather the necessary documents. Staying on top of your bookkeeping is key to a successful business. This is key. Anything that has to do with your money, you're dealing with your money, you need to be really careful. In any negocio, I don't want to get off track here, but you're going to need a good CPA and you're going to need an attorney. Not that you hope you never use it, but get yourself a good CPA. That's your right hand, and then your left hand, get an attorney. You have to have this so you can start right. Knowing how much money you have will be difficult if you are not tracking it. And if you're thinking of combining your personal and business account, you better think twice. Don't do it. There's a higher risk of losing all your assets if you do so. That's very important. Why we ask that you go into this SBA centers, SBDC centers, so you can learn and understand and talk to CPAs. Take advantage of all these entrepreneur informational platforms, so you can understand what you're facing and what you can lose. You're putting your dreams, so don't risk it. Don't try to say there is no shortcuts in life. Erase the word shortcut. No existe. Not when you're planning to succeed. Always have these documents on hand: your balance sheet, your profit and loss statement, your cash flow statement, and your accounts receivable. Accounts receivable, what you're getting; accounts payable, what you're paying. It's a short form. Don't be afraid. When you see those titles, you probably panic. Right now, everything is online. We have centers willing to help you and support. I know that a lot of the chambers offer like a day that they call breakfast with the bankers, and the bankers come in and show you. That's one of the things that we do at our chamber. We teach our entrepreneurs how to write a balance sheet, how to write a profit and loss statement, what the cash flow statement is, how to go with your accounts receivables and payables. This is not rocket science and it's not difficult. Don't let nothing intimidate you. And it's okay if you're afraid. And when you see these big names, it's okay to ask. And it's okay to make mistakes, but it's okay to make them in paper and then correct them. Okay? Don't be harsh on yourself. Just be fair to yourself and give yourself not 100%, but give 110% from you to make your business grow. So start your business, and I want to say that you're ready to start your business now, but I want to encourage anybody that's looking to start to please, before you put all your money, your savings into your dream, get the information that you need to succeed. During this pandemic, in our city, we want to say that one of the things what we found out of, let's say, 10 businesses that we had, and losing 5 of them is an example. I'm just saying this is an example. We could have saved those 5 businesses if they knew the city had resources for them, if they knew there was organizations, chambers, federal institutions, and there to support them. So this is why we encourage anybody, before you go and spend, do your research. Look, pregunten. There's people out there, organizations, chambers, SER, your city. There's resources out there for you to grow, because we all want to see our future leaders, our students, our new entrepreneurs. You're our future, so we want to make sure that you succeed and you become a Fortune 500 company. For my 11 grandkids.
Wonderful. Is that your wrap up, Mary?
That's my wrap up. Yes, absolutely.
Well, this is perfect. You guys, we have a solid 30 minutes to be able to do some Q&A and really answer some of those questions that you might have from somebody who has been in business. And I want to set the stage a little bit by finding out we got some of your business advice, but I want to hear about you personally. How did you decide that you talked about, oh, do the thing that you would do, if you weren't going to get paid for it? How did you decide you were going to go into event planning and wedding planning and get that certification?
Absolutely. I want to say it's my retirement job. My background is in finance, Jenny. And when we decided to take this move here to Grand Prairie from El Paso, Texas, 23 years ago, okay, uh, for me being a branch manager, trying to start again at 35 was tough. Um, it's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks. Uh, so I said, I don't want to start, but I don't want to go back to starting here in finance again. What can I do that I can enjoy? I had an early retirement. We moved here because my son wanted to come over here to further his education, and he's our first grown, so we didn't want to send him over here by himself. And we have family here from my husband's side, from Chihuahua. They came over here first. So I wanted to do something that I like, and I've always held that to my heart. What do I like doing? I like to be a boss. I like to do things. To do things that I like. I might not get paid all the time, but here's where I go to say you have to like what you do to produce. I could have chosen to restart any career at 35 because to me, learning is no age limit. There is no age limit. You can start a career at any time. And I want to tell anybody out there, please, if you have that desire to change that in your heart to start another, go for it. You set your own limits. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to try something that is fun. I said, what can I do here where I don't know anybody and there's 4 million people and I only know my 10 family members from my husband's side? I said, I got to like something where nobody can be telling me what to do. So I started looking at UTA. Okay, well, 4 years again, 2 years again. I said, ooh. And I've always been a chamber fan. In El Paso, I used to go to the chamber networkers. In Las Cruces, I used to go to the chamber networkers. I've been a chamber cheerleader all my life. So I dije, okay, what do I do? What about, back then, you're talking 23 years ago, our language, Espanol, was not as beautiful and recognized as it is right now. When I rolled in here to Las Cruces, rolling my R's and writing my perfect Spanish that I write and speaking my language, people would turn me, ¿de dónde eres? You're not from here. No, I'm not. I'm from El Paso. And I said, "Ooh," and then, okay, we started doing small meetings. Then, in those meetings where 8 people showed up, then 25 showed up, then 50 showed up. We started an event for Fiestas Patrias. I said, okay, we got here, Fiesta de las Flores en El Paso, tan grandota, y aquí no hay nada de eso, no había nada. Dije, Fiestas Patrias. What is that? What do you mean, what's that? Fiestas Patrias, 16 de septiembre. You don't know what 16 de septiembre is? We started with 12 people. Now we have over 500 people attending that event 16 years later. We're doing the Fiestas Patrias, Dia de los Muertos, and that's where I started. I said, you know what? An event planner. Why
Exactly.
not? I can work from home. I can run, a venue where I'm at, and I can do what I want. And I can, most important, do what I didn't have a chance to do when my kids were growing. I can help my daughters and my sons with their children. I can dedicate that time to my grandkids that me because I needed a job back then. You know, I couldn't, I had to work more than, the hours that we usually do, a 9 to 5 or nine. We work long hours. So I wanted to make sure that I could find a job where I could help my kids with their kids
And
and
so,
dedicate that passion. Mhm.
so Mary, so you at 35 went back and got that certificate. Is that right?
I did at UTA. Yes,
And,
yes, I
and
got.
what was that transition like to go from having risen through the ranks professionally? and then to kind of go back to school. And I'm guessing there were some age differences and things like that with the people that you were with.
Yes, you know what? And there was a big age difference, but there was women there from all over the world. And that's what made it, because I started already thinking, oh my God, going back to school, and I'm terrified of this computer thing and all this thing. But when I saw them with their, and my husband got me a little iPad, and I saw these women and, from different, different parts of the world and all learning. We were all there for one reason, learning. So I said, oh my God, we're all into this career. And like I said, we've done weddings and corporate events from all these different parts of the world that I would have never dreamed of. I just find it exciting, and to me it wasn't hard because I'm a people person. I like to learn. I love different cultures.
Now let's talk about after school. So you went, you get the certificate. And for anybody who's been through a formal education, you know that they can't really, no matter how great the school is, there's no way to teach what it's going to be like when you actually get out on the job. So did you start out saying, okay, I'm going to work for somebody initially and then build my own business, or did you start out right on your own? What did you do?
Well, you know what? At that time when I got that certificate, there was a location that I saw in the downtown Dallas. I started my own venue, and then I started there. I was there for a good 7 years. The business was sold, and I said, okay. They were, I believe in plans and things. You never force things. I believe in never forcing things. Everything happens at a perfect time and for a reason. So do not force things. When we do a lot of praying and we say, "I, Diosito, send me a signal," and then He sends us a signal, and what do? We turn around and do whatever we want to do. It doesn't work that way. The signals. I I got that place in Dallas for 7 years. Then at the right time when that place closed, they gave me my notification. They weren't going to renew the lease after 7 years. Somebody else had bought it out. Da, 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 da. I started working for a venue in Grand Prairie and used my skills there. Used my skills. And, you know, now, I worked for them for about 5 years. And then it turned out that they gave me a partnership. And now I'm partnership with that venue. And I'm enjoying it. You know, it's it's my retirement job. I work when I want to. I love what I do. And I have the most important thing, which is time for my family.
So you've really prioritized and kind of figured out. We've got a question about finding an attorney, and I don't know if this is something you did because it sounds like you sort of partnered with an established business, but perhaps you did for certain contracts. How did you find the right attorney for
Okay.
for your business and to work with over the years?
Okay. It wasn't hard because I've been, like I mentioned, Jenny, I'm a chamber cheerleader. So as I grow, I've always believed in leaving the doors open and saving your contacts. And I've been involved in different chambers. So I had attorneys. I've always believed, if you need an attorney for a small business, you go with an attorney for a small business. If you need an attorney for a criminal case, you go get an attorney for a criminal case. Zapatero a sus zapatos. So, that's very important to me since we're going to be doing contracts in this venue area. So I said, okay, well, we need to make sure that whatever we want and whatever we're going to present that customer, we make it fair. As a business, we want to stay in business, but we also want to be fair to the person that we're renting the place. And one thing that the person, simple things that will make you stand out. A lot of people don't know, especially because the majority of my clients are Hispanic, they're Latinos. So they don't know that in Texas, the word deposit is a big confusing word. Deposit, deposito. So they go to different places, they put down a down payment, okay? And then I guess they confuse the down payment with a deposit. That's two different things. In Texas law, if you take a down payment, that goes towards your home rental. If you take a deposit under Texas law, that deposit has to be given back. It has to be deposited into a separate account. And if there's no damages to that place, you have the legal right to give that person that money back. And a lot of people don't tell our people that. So they say, okay, so we're going to stand out for doing that. And, we've been there 13 years and not once have we had anybody's deposit. We only charge 250 deposit, but I think that has been, I have customers that I've done two quinceañeras and now I'm doing an anniversary. So that's, you want returning customers. Then you have to find that thing that's going to make you different from the rest, 9 Marys that are next to me and the next venues. Mhm.
Right. Yeah, it's very interesting. You bring up a really interesting component of business, which is that sometimes terminology doesn't always translate. So it sounds like where you've sort of carved yourself out is being able to explain that to people, and that's a huge benefit for your customers and clients. I
It
want
is.
to find out what your typical week is like, or in terms of tasks and what you do, and
Mhm.
it may sound to people like, oh gosh, how glamorous you show up on the day, but what are the other tasks that you're doing throughout the week that may be not as glamorous?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I'll tell you that I'm involved. I'm very involved in my community. I love my city. I'm a people person. I love meeting people. I don't like to be at home. I think there's always something out there that needs your help. I'm involved with a women's group. I'm very involved with the chamber. A normal week for Mary Dominguez, like today, I got up at 5 and then I went to the commercial kitchen that we rent so we can get all the appetizers for tonight's event going, ready, and making sure that the girl that's there. I dropped everything off at 7 in the morning. She's working on it. I was scheduled to pick it up. I'm scheduled to pick it up at 3:15, and then I ran over to my Soroptimist class with my women's group. We had our Thanksgiving dinner, lunch. There are women at Club of Grand Prairie, and then from there we go pick up the decorations, and we're going to move to the another center, another venue in Arlington, because tonight we have a program where we're doing a fundraiser for a toy drive for our over 256 underserved kids in the Arlington district. So that's the day that I have. A lot of things that I like doing is, I'm the president for the GPISD Education Foundation. I'm passionate about education. If you're going to give your kids something, please give them the opportunity of a career. Push them to finish high school. Push them to go beyond high school. Push them to get a career because that's our future generation. Those are our future leaders. And ask about scholarships. And I also founded a chamber, that we didn't have a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in Grand Prairie with 68% Latinos in this beautiful city. And I founded the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce on May the 4th. Um, we have up to 70 new members. That tells you the need. And one thing that we're doing different, we don't want to take the memberships. We want you as a member, but we want you to understand the function a chamber has, the resource, use the resources, the platforms that we have. We partnered with the city. We have a link with them so they can understand what the chamber's function is. And God forbid we get another pandemic. If somebody comes in, at least now they're going to know that, hey, the city has money for me in case there's a pandemic. Hey, the chamber's a platform where I can go meet my cousins. Hey, the chamber has an incubator program for me as a business startup to go use and go meet my customers there. So, that's what I do. Those are my normal activities during the week. I'd like to program myself. I don't like to overextend myself. I only do, what I have on my plate and what I can do. I never try to overextend. That's one thing. Don't get greedy. Just get your plate enough where you can serve everybody and give the best that you have.
That's great, Mary. Now I'm hearing from a couple people saying they're not able to hear. So for those of you who haven't, it's nothing, I can hear you fine, Mary, and I'm hearing from others who can hear. So if you're, for some reason, been watching this whole time, 42 minutes, and still have not heard anything, then type in the chat and then we will put the YouTube channel on here so you can get the replay because that will be full volume. Everything will be excellent on that. So yes, sometimes with technology there is a glitch, and so our sincere apologies for that. But let me know if you cannot hear, and then we will go from there. Now, Mary, so you've got all these sort of networking. I mean, you're networking like a boss. So I'm guessing you don't have to do a ton of advertising, but in terms of the day in, day out involvement of planning an event, what does that entail? Is it a lot of meeting with the client? Is it a lot of going over their menu, or client or customer, or whatever you call them? Is it a lot of showing up at the event? What does that involve?
Yes. Let me give you an example, like for this Saturday's event, the one that I have on Saturday. I'm a multitasker, and I don't believe in tomorrow. I always say, "Hey, I'm here today, but we nobody's guaranteed a tomorrow." So I always like to, and I always like to teach my team what would happen if I would not be here tomorrow. If I'm not here tomorrow, I have a commitment. That customer hired me to do a job for him. So if I'm not here tomorrow, if I'm gone tomorrow, you, my assistant, have to be able to fulfill that commitment to my client. So I always teach my team exactly what I know. Okay, they know everything I know. I hope. And then okay, so because I knew that we had this event for today, my event for the fundraiser that we have for the it's a Nigerian fundraiser that's happening on Saturday. What I did for them is we went ahead and I took their contract 2 months ago, and they gave me a percentage there. They paid me last week. So because they came and paid me on Saturday, what I did not have an event program at the venue this week. So I called in my team on Monday. I took off, sorry, I took off on Monday. Had him come in Tuesday and Wednesday. The salon is decorated. I met with my customer on Saturday. What do you want? Where do you want your table? Where do you want your special guest? Where do you want your DJ? Do you need a speakerphone? Do you need a screen? Do we need a gift? Do we need a signing table? Do we need tall boys? Do we need 60 round? Everything has a porqué, a why. So I need that ahead of time. We tested the audio like we did today, and I'm a dinosaur. And I told the guy that showed up with his laptop, please don't be gentle. I said, oh, I'm familiar with the HDMI cable. And I turned on the projector, and voila, that thing came on. Don't be afraid. I mean, I'm terrified, but I said, I have to do it. I don't have my IT guy anymore. So you know what? I have to step up and fulfill my customer's request. I can say that the hall is already ready. We met on Saturday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We finished up the hall. And right now, if my customer wants to come in and bring their things on Friday, I don't see why I shouldn't let them in. They can bring things in, and it's all ready for them to go. And on Saturday, their event, I'm there to greet them on their arrival. They're going to arrive at 4. I'm very planner. From 4. Then I ask my team to arrive at the same time. I introduce them to my lead person. I have a right hand and a left hand at work as well. And I tell them that I'm going to be leaving at 6, but Miss Lucy is my right hand, Miss Arroyo is my left hand. But my phone is on 24/7. Whatever you need, they're going to be here. They're going to take care of you as if I was here. And if that is not happening, please give me a call. And they feel that sense of trust, that it's not just, you paid me, see you later, alligator, you're not going to see me again. So that's how I run my days and how I try to do my things.
She's anywhere and everywhere all the time now.
Yes, and I love it.
Now, is there anything looking back when you first started that you would have done differently? Or if you're thinking, okay, back to, when you first got into this particular part of business that you would have changed or done differently?
That I would have done differently. No. Life you cannot regret what you have done. Life is an experience. I guess the only thing I want to say, the only thing I would have done, I got excited and embarked in a restaurant business, thinking it was the same as the catering company. It's two whole different animals. two whole different animals. And I'm not the type of person that I will tie myself to such a restaurants. Out of 10 restaurants, those are dedicated. You want a restaurant to grow, you better make sure you're going to be there 7 days a week. Eh? And then goodbye my chamber, goodbye my Hispanic heritage cultural events. So if anything, I would have dropped the catering part and just stayed with the, decorations and wherever the planning, the coordination, the execution that I now do, which now I can't drop everything at once after doing it for so long. But I am taking from bigger parties, from 100, 200 parties. I'm doing more like chamber functions, more little, appetizer thing, charcutier versus, the big banquets that I used to do. I guess I would just change that only for the age factor, the the um, as far as like the health, I have really bad arthritis on my right hand. But as far as regrets, I don't regret anything. I'm thankful for everything that I've been able to learn to do. And if you ask me what everybody asked me, Mary, out of everything that we see you doing, what pays you? I said, you know what? Only my job. Do you get paid from everything? No, girl. But you know what? The passion for service, that's my payment, the satisfaction. Nobody can pay for that. That's your essence, leaving that footprint. I'm proud to say I earned my own day here in Grand Prairie. October 13th is my own day. I'm involved in everything. I have been part of almost every organization here in the city. And I've done it to learn, to better serve, to better give from myself and leave those footprints for my grandkids so they can know that they have to give back to their community, that they have to go out. Don't expect anything to come into your hands. You have to give to receive. You have to lead by example. You have to be willing to leave those footprints, make that mark there so people can remember you for what you've done and what that change that you've made in their life. Mhm.
Well, gosh, I really appreciate your essence and your vibrancy. And I think it's particularly impressive too, because it's not like you grew up there. Sometimes people think in order to have an impact on the community, you have to have been born there and have to have had your parents already be in the business world there and your grandparents. And, I remember thinking that, but your family came in and you made your mark and you set about doing what you do. I can't help but wonder if the fact that even though you're not technically earning money doing these chamber events and these other events, in the Hispanic community, if it doesn't pay off in clients down the road. And I know that's not why you do it. You
Yeah.
do it because you love it, but I can only assume people can sense what you're about and then want to hire you.
Yes, and you know what? When I've done events, the satisfaction comes to you when people show up at the chamber. And I had a group of women that came from Hearst, and she said, "You know what? I want to be a part of this group." She said, "Mary, you are talking from the heart. Hearing you speak, you didn't write it down. That's you. That's the essence. Your family. This is not about business only. This is about wanting everybody to succeed. I want to be a part of you." And I said, "Oh, that it gave me satisfaction." I said, "Oh my God." And you know what? I'm telling you that this group of women are in hers, and half of them, there was about 7 mujeres, half of them from El Paso. From El Paso, we have that essence, we have that passion, we have that goodness that vibrates, that comes out, that we just can't hide. That's just who we are. Yeah.
I love that. We talked about that before everybody logged on. We were chatting about that essence, and I think that that's really special. What is your best advice for somebody who is an up and comer in the business world, either a recent college graduate or somebody who is making a shift in their career, which is a huge trend right now? I think that, the pandemic made us realize, if we're not following our passion now, it's about time to start. So what's your advice for people starting out on a new adventure, regardless of the age?
Believe in yourself. If you can believe, you will achieve. Believe in yourself. No negative thoughts. You keep whatever you say it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So keep focused. Don't let nobody decide what your future is. It's up to you. You're the engineer. You build your future. You become whatever your heart, whatever your mind tells you you're going to be. Move forward. Adelante.
So we've got the motivation, we've got the inspiration, we know we're going to join a chamber. Check, check, check. All of Mary's sort of ideal things. If someone is going to go into a partnership in business, that is, merge a business or, start a business with somebody or join somebody's already existing business, what is your best advice to them?
Okay. Let me remind everybody, a partnership is like a marriage. Do your homework. Do your homework first. Um, Make sure that you have all your who, what, when, where, why. Are we really going to succeed? Are we both sharing that same vision? Because a partnership is a marriage. It's a marriage in business. So make sure that whoever you're going to partner with has the same vision, has the same passion, has the same business ethics, shares that same goal, and is heading in the right direction, same as you. Definitely. And get your contract.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about. Which sort of contract should be done? What, for somebody who's like, I don't know, I want to go into this business with this person. What should they do to make sure that they set themselves up for success?
You know what? We do have an attorney, and it's called a partnership. It's called a partnership agreement. Um, but I would, we have a general template that we use, and I would recommend that on that general template, you add your special, what you want, what you hope to accomplish with that partnership. But it is called it's called a partnership agreement. And I do recommend anybody, please, if you're going into a partnership, please, please get that agreement, that contract before you get into business. That's very important. Get with an you do need, I would recommend if you're doing a partnership to get an attorney. Yes.
What other upfront costs should people prepare for? So an attorney is going to cost, a chunk of money, but worth it, not something you want to skimp on. What else?
Your CPA, and like I said, your CPA is super important. That's your right hand, your money person. Um, you know, as far as like your rents are gonna your rent, you need to find something reasonable. Your permits, your certificate of occupancy, your assumed names, your legal formations, those are expenses that you're gonna have. But also keep in mind that there's organizations like SAFE that has this grant that they're giving for $400 for business startups. Hey, $400 you can use to pay your certificate of occupancy, to buy your city permit, to pay your printer, your computer that you want for work. $400 can get you a long way. And there's a lot of organizations like SEP doing that for business entrepreneurs. They really want to help you grow.
Would you ever recommend that any of your kids or grandkids go into the same business you're in?
Absolutely. Yes. Like I said, they have to believe in themselves. They have to like what they do. So if they want to, they have, and I know one of them, my daughter has a free, but she's into nursing. I'm not into sick people, I'm too much of a happy person, but I would, I mean, I love, most of my kids are in medical field and law enforcement. But if any of my grandkids would like to, I would support them in any dream that they have, but I would also encourage them to think and be realistic. And before getting into this retirement job, I would want them to have a career, to get me a degree, something they can fall on for tomorrow.
That's excellent. It's excellent advice. And I do think many people are having sort of two generations of work world. One to perhaps save for retirement and another one to kind of enjoy life and have a more balanced schedule. This is a question that I'm not sure, Mary, that you know the answer to, but maybe someone from SAD will hear me asking this and know the answer. They're wanting to know if that money that you were referencing, I think the $400, does that apply to those wanting to go into private practice offering a service? Do you happen to know?
I'm not sure if if SED would cover that, but I mean that is for business startups. I'm assuming if it's a service, hey, you're opening up an office, you're a business entrepreneur, but that's more a SED question because they're the ones that are giving that scholarship away, and I don't want to give information. Mhm.
And that is likely listed on the scholarship on the website, right? So that's likely
Yes,
a component of it. All
yes.
right, we just have a few minutes left. So, any parting words for budding entrepreneurs, budding people in the work world who are thinking about getting out there, and making an impact like you have?
And any last minute words? Is that what you told me, Jenny?
Yes, yes. Any
Yes.
last thoughts? Any last thoughts for people who are thinking about, or just,
Go for it.
of encouragement?
Go for it. Don't doubt yourself. Get out there. If you're ready to start your own business, get out there and do it. And ask. Get informed. Pamper yourself, but also pamper yourself with information. Get all that good information out there and look for that free money. Free money. But remember also, there's no such thing as free. So the free money is one thing, you gotta look for it, but don't ever expect anything as you go in your business to be free. You have to pay a price, and that's gonna be your dedication, your hard work, your passion, your perseverance on your success.
Well, you are just a delight. You're a ball of energy. I've really appreciated it. If people want to get in touch with you or find your business if they're local or join the chamber, what's the best sort of contact or reach out for you?
Okay, they can just type in Mary Dominguez Santini or look for me at the Grand Prairie Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And I will be more than happy to, they can send me an email, send me a text, and I will be more than happy to reply. If I don't have the answer, I promise you, I will put you in contact with the right person that will help you and has the service product that or information that you're looking for.
Wonderful. You're getting lots of compliments on your energy and enthusiasm. So I just want to pass that along to you so you can feel the
Oh,
love from the group. The love is surrounding you. So thank you so much for that, Mary. And just a couple of last housekeeping items for me, because that's what I'm here for, kind of like the conductor of this little train as we go. So for more information on the set of programs, like what we were just referencing with the money, that
yes.
link is right in the chat. It's the most recent link in the chat. So you can click on that, save it, grab it later. And then also you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the link right below there. If you subscribe there, you can get the replay of Mary's talk and then all of the other ones. I mean, there's a whole library. It's like a little business school. It's like a mini business school that's set up here. So really, really wonderful stuff. I want to thank Sarah as always for having me along, and we look forward to the next one. This replay will be up by Wednesday. Have a wonderful day, Mary. We'll chat with you soon.
Thank you very much and happy Thanksgiving to all.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.